You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. A fire gutted a Baldwin home and 3 firefighters were hurt while fighting the flames. Newsday TV's Cecilia Dowd reports.
I heard something crackling over there, and when I walked into the driveway, that whole window just blew out. The whole 5 seconds, that whole front porch was on fire. So I quick called 911.
A Baldwin home gutted. Luckily, no one was inside the Yale Place house.
That house was engulfed in seconds. It went up really quick.
It was unreal. I was still shaking. Still shaking.
We're told the homeowner is 89 years old, a decades-long Baldwin volunteer firefighter. His son tells me that this is a tough situation that could have been worse. A fire official says 75 to 80 firefighters from 11 departments worked to put out the blaze. 3 were injured, 1 with second-degree burns and 2 with heat exhaustion. Tom Kirshner ran across the street to a neighbor's house, worried it too would catch fire. He alerted the neighbor next door.
I got him out of the house because I was afraid the fire was going to jump to his house because it was kind of windy and the flames were coming out really, really big. And as we were standing there, you kept hearing pop and pop. We later found out there's oxygen tanks in there, and the oxygen tanks were going out.
Authorities say the fire appears non-suspicious, possibly electrical, and says oxygen cylinders likely contributed to the fire. Cecilia Dowd for Newsday TV.
An alleged MS-13 gang member who was convicted of killing a teenager in 2016 was just sentenced to 22 years in prison. 25-year-old Anthony Gutierrez Meza pled guilty to manslaughter in the death of 18-year-old Esteban Abrego Gomez. The victim's body was found at a Little League complex in Green Lawn. And Suffolk police are putting a piece of life-saving equipment back in the sky. Newsday TV's Steve Langford brings us this story.
Fresh back in rotation in the Suffolk County Police Department's aviation section, this Airbus EC-145 twin-engine medevac after being temporarily decommissioned for service work.
This medevac is like an ambulance in the sky. It's equipped with a pilot, a co-pilot, a flight medic from Stony Brook University that can perform life-saving measures while en route to the hospital.
Suffolk PD's aviation section includes 4 helicopters that run about 1,200 flights a year, conducting everything from law enforcement support to search and rescue, and now especially shark sightings.
We do have 14 pilots on staff who go out and fly all of our airways. These 14 officers went through a vigorous training and are prepared to respond in any rescue incident.
This single-engine Suffolk police chopper returns to Ronkonkoma Base, briefly silencing officials.
The crew just got back from shark patrol on the South Shore. No sightings.
We recently approved the purchase of a brand new twin-engine helicopter.
That addition expected to join the fleet in about 18 months to replace one of the current older single-engine helicopters. Keeping a watchful eye over close to 1,000 square miles of land and nearly 1,500 square miles of water across Suffolk County. Steve Langford for Newsday TV.
Now to a story you saw first in Newsday. The bill that would allow Suffolk cops to carry EpiPens has been signed by the county executive, but the new law is not taking effect just yet. Suffolk County Executive Steve Baldwin says the state law needs to be clarified first. So he claims the state allows city, town, or village police officers to administer EpiPens, but does not specify if county cops are allowed to. Nassau lawmakers introduced a similar bill earlier this month. And a vape shop in Syosset is now padlocked shut after Oyster Bay town officials claim illegal marijuana sales were happening inside. Now, although weed is legal in New York, municipalities have the option to opt out of sales. Oyster Bay is one of those municipalities. Now, the vape shop's owner and landlord are due in court next month. And there's a big vote tonight on a proposed $200 million expansion at Jake's 58. The plan includes a new building, more parking, and more betting machines. Now, if approved, the work would be completed in 2025. Tonight is the first of 2 key votes by the Islandia Village Board. And one of the biggest shopping events of the year is here, Amazon Prime Day. Newsday got an inside look at one of Amazon's newest and biggest same-day warehouse sites right here on the island.
this side is preparing to do the most volume, delivering to our Melville, New York, and Greater Long Island customers.
As you're shopping, be sure to keep an eye out for scams, though. The Better Business Bureau recommends to watch out for look-alike website, unsolicited emails or calls, and social media ads that sound too good to be true. All right, let's take a look at your Long Island weather, shall we? Tonight we have 71 degrees and clear skies, but tomorrow it's bringing the heat. So let's take a closer look at tomorrow, shall we? And it looks like sun, 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 sun all day long. Forget those partly cloudy parts. It's going to be nice out. Temps in the high 80s, if not 90s.
Get more of the stories you've seen on Newsday TV at Newsday.com. Plus breaking news, investigations, things to do, restaurants, and other Long Island news you can't get anywhere else. At Newsday.com, covering Long Island like no one else can. Newsday Sports is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
A childhood dream turning into reality for a Suffolk teen. Carissa Kelman spoke with the athlete who's heading to the majors.
Once I got that call, I was just like, I was so relieved, but my heart was beating out of my chest.
With the 33rd pick of the 2023 MLB draft, the Milwaukee Brewers select Josh Knoth.
In that moment, PatMed ace Josh Knoth's life would change forever when he heard his name called as the 33rd overall pick by the Milwaukee Brewers in the first round of the MLB draft.
It's always been in my head, like this was my dream since I was a little kid, but I never really thought it would actually happen.
Met with all the teams, and then when they started coming to his games, it was like, oh my God, this is really happening. This could happen for him.
In just a few days, Knoth will leave his home here in Medford for Milwaukee, where he'll officially become a Brewer.
Now you're playing pro baseball at just 17.
That still hasn't processed in my head that I'm gonna be a professional baseball player and move to a whole different state, not be with my family, but I think I'm ready for it. I've been ready for it.
We're excited for him. It's the next chapter, the next journey. I hope he goes as far as he can take it.
I'm definitely so pumped up for it. I'm ready.
In Medford, Carissa Kelman, Newsday TV.
What an achievement indeed. Now, to read more about Josh, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now, if you want to escape to the North Fork, there's some new options for you. Elisa DeStefano has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Get ready for a great Greenport getaway. Here's what's new on the North Fork. Our first stop, the brand new Hotel Marine. Once you walk through these doors, you will immediately feel like you are on vacation. The lobby leads to a pool overlooking the Long Island Sound.
The site is the former location of the Sunset Motel, which had been around since about the mid-60s. What you're looking at are essentially 5 new buildings on the site. We'd like to say that it's family-owned and family-focused. A lot of the buildings look like modern barn structures, and our slogan is where the land meets the sea.
There are 21 guest rooms, all with a view. You could spend the whole day by the pool. They serve everything from smoothies to signature cocktails to small plates. And who doesn't love a summer lobster roll? Gather or play games in the cottage on the bluff. There are more vacation vibes right this way. The private beach is just steps away. Swim in the Sound, catch the sunset, or just relax. The perfect place for some peace and quiet. This is the revitalized Silver Sands Motel. That's the original sign, but there's so many new things to see inside. You'll be greeted by a brand new lobby, which leads to the same beautiful waterfront view.
Silver Sands has been around since 1957. We don't really consider it a renovation, more a rejuvenation, because over the years it did kind of fall into disrepair, but the spirit was really intact.
The motel still has that familiar feeling for longtime guests.
Everything from the color of the walls to the seashells on the door, it was the backdrop of so many memories for people, and we wanted to make sure that those touch points remained intact.
There are 20 motel rooms. Let's check out this one. This is the Waterfront King. They also offer beach shacks, bungalows, and beach houses. The beach bar serves cocktails, oysters from here at Pipes Cove, and a full menu.
Or you can enjoy your meal. These look delicious with your toes in the sand.
There's also a snack bar on site.
They have 1,400 yards of private beach to enjoy. The sand is so soft, the water feels so good. I want to dive right in.
Spend the day on the water, and you might want to spend more than one night.
It is the whole experience here. It is decidedly laid back. We want people to come first and foremost to enjoy the North Fork and all of its natural resources.
Elisa DiStefano, Newsday TV.
Relaxing to me. Now, to read more about new overnight escapes, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Watch Newsday TV on the big screen. Use the remote to activate Siri, Alexa, Roku, or the Google Assistant on your streaming device. Say, install Newsday. Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Boofer. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast.